We're going to use a benchtop table saw to cut down most of the panels for the tool chest. And so, in case you are a beginner, I want to review some of the basic safety and use characteristics of the table saw so that your first experience is not your last experience. Modern table saws come with a decent guard and riving knife, and there is absolutely no reason to remove them for this project. So keep the guards in place. I don't use the anti-kickback pawls. I actually find them to be a detriment to a safe operation, but that's my personal opinion. So keep the guard in place, and for a lot of these cuts, you are going to be dealing with very large 4x8 sheets of plywood that you're going to be pushing through the saw. And so it's good to have a helper who can catch. But there is a right way to catch and there is a wrong way to catch. The right way to catch is the person is not going to be involved in actually pulling the stock through the saw. So when I push the stock through, Ty here will use his fingertips there underneath the stock and will not be grabbing it until I have pushed it all the way through and have removed my hand from the stock. Then he can lift it up and he can move it to the side. So training your helper is a very important step into getting safe operation of the saw. If they pull, then you could bind the work against the blade and you can get yourself in trouble real fast. Make sure the rip fence is locked down tightly, and always use eye protection. I wish I had my side shields on, I don't. And ear protection, especially with these universal tool motors, which are going to really scream at you. So when I run this through, it's also very important about where you apply pressure and where you look. Now, applying pressure is my left hand is going to be pushing the work against the fence. My right hand is going to be pushing the work between the fence and the blade. I am not going to stand in line with the blade, so in case for some reason this gets pushed back at me, unlikely but it could happen, but if it gets pushed back at me, I'm going to be out of its path. The other thing is, keep your eye focused on the fence. You don't, yeah, sure, it's cool to watch the blade cut the work, but that doesn't help you. You want to make sure that you are keeping the work tight against the fence. So that's where you want to direct your eye. So let's rip down this panel. Let it spin all the way down before you remove any debris. And matter of fact, you usually don't even need to remove the debris. The next cut will push it out of the way. But let it spin down if you do want to remove the debris, if it's getting in the way of your work. So that's how we're going to use this saw to cut down all the parts. We're going to begin by cutting down the 3/4 inch sheet to get our fronts and our ends of our tool chest. Now there is also a plywood optimization chart that is included on this DVD if you put it in your computer, and that will tell you exactly where to lay out your cuts so that you can get the most material with only 2 sheets of plywood. So once we get those cut down, then we can start assembling things, and this will look like a chest a lot faster than you think it will.